All right, in this section we're going to talk about some chords, specifically power chords. You may have heard that term before, so what is a power chord? A power chord is a chord that is not major or minor. It contains only two notes. Without getting too bogged down in the theory, it's a root and a fifth. So if you've seen transcriptions, sometimes a power chord is also called a five chord. So let me show you what I mean. We're going to have just two notes and we're going to play an E5 chord. It could also be called an E power chord. I'll take the note E, 7th fret of the A string, and then I'll take the note B on the 9th fret of the D string. I play those two together, I've got an E power chord. That could also be called an E5 chord. Sounds very raw, very primal, very aggressive. It's not happy like a major chord, there's no major third. And it's not dark like a minor chord, there's no minor third. I just have those two notes. So let's try and create a little chord progression so we can practice shifting between these chords. I'll start off with an E power chord, and I'll just strum some 8th notes for two measures. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Now let's move down and play a C power chord, 3rd fret of the A string, 5th fret of the D string. So far we've had the root notes on the A string. Our next chord, we'll play an A power chord or an A5 chord with the root note on the low E string. So the root note is played with the first finger. We need to find the note A on the low E string, and that is on the 5th fret. So along with this A, I'll play E on the 7th fret of the A string. And that gives me an A power chord. I'll continue to strike this in 8th notes for two measures. Back to our first chord, we'll play that E5 chord for one measure. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and in the final measure of our little short jam here, we'll play a C power chord, 3rd fret A string, 5th fret D string, and then move up to a D power chord, 5th fret on the A string, 7th fret on the D string. Okay, a little power chord workout for you. Here's what it sounds like if we put all 8 measures together. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and... And let's try it a little faster. 1, 2, 3, 4. So there are some power chords. Definitely want to get used to playing those if you're into rock music. Power chords always sound great with distortion, which is one of the reasons that power chords are so common. Also, as I mentioned earlier, they just sound very primal, very raw, very aggressive, which is perfect for rock. Okay, so there's a little bit on power chords. Make sure you study up on those.